Hi guys, welcome back to Antiquated Builds. Today we've got an ancient Egyptian house, our first ancient Egyptian tutorial. And this is a smaller house, it's not that big, it's got a couple of bedrooms and is a simpler build. So it's much easier than some of the ancient Greek builds that we've done. This particular house is based off of more New Kingdom Egypt and some of the cool buildings that you can see in games like Assassin's Creed Origins, which is my main reference for this, but also like lots of art and archaeological remains. This particular one's more of a mud brick house. With some stone elements, but it's quite colourful, it's quite cool, and yeah, hope you enjoy. So we're going to be basing this off of 12 by 18 size, so it's not that big. And we're going to first start off by doing the base, so we're just going to be taking sandstone to the edge here, just 4, and then into from the edge. And then we're going to take chiseled quartz blocks, so we're going to run these all the way, and we're going to inset them 1 from the edge. So we're going to have a 4 wide here, and we're going to fill this in later. And then we're going to go 3 wide here, and we're going to run it all the way back, and we're going to inset 1 from the edge. So that's going to be our building boundary. So this is just the floor for the moment. And this is going to help us build a base that we can build our first walls around. I'm just going to go in and fill this really quickly. And then we're going to do the same so with the sandstone. So for all the rest of this, we're just going to fill all the area in with sandstone, like so. And yeah, as said, we're just going to take this all the way to the edge, and then we're just going to quickly fill in all of this middle part right here. This is going to form part of our kitchen, but it's also going to form part of like the front entrance courtyard sort of place. Now once you've laid your floor and all of your chiseled quartz blocks, you're going to be ready to place your walls. So what we're going to do is we're going to take orange terracotta, and we're going to run this all the way around the edge. So right between those wall blocks. But then right here we're going to run it just a bit further down, so all the way to 1 from the edge, and it's going to be 5 wide here. And then we're going to run it, and we're going to have a 1 wide gap for the door. We're going to take some red nether brick walls, and they're going to be the basis for our pillars at the front. Now what we're going to start doing is we're going to start partitioning our spaces up. So that's going to be the back area for our stairs. And as you see, we're just going to put a couple of stairs in here. We're going to use smooth quartz stairs in this one. Then we'll be ready to place a few pots. So I'm going to place a few pots just to help me partition out some areas, just to say, okay, you know, start basing out our furniture. I quite like doing this first when you've got the roof off and, you know, you've got lots of vision of what you can see. Some people like just building it first, but yeah. And then we're going to do another partition with our bamboo trapdoors, and this is going to be our first bedroom in the corner. And we're just placing some seats, placing in our kitchen at the back here, and then the cauldron, which is going to be a pot for a plant. Just going to take a chest here, if I can find the thing. There we go. And this space in the front, this could be better done. It's quite simple in this build, but it could be used for a smithing area, whatnot. And we're just going to take some carpets as well. Now we're going to be going on to the next step. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in the corners, we're going to take bone blocks. So bone blocks are quite good for corner pieces, and we're going to go in all of these corners, and we're going to place bone blocks. In the middle we're going to do it as well, so in line with those. And it's basically going to form like our grid. So in the middle you've got a larger area, but most of them are 3 with a gap of 3 in between. Then we're going to take smooth sandstone blocks. We're going to fill in these areas, except on the front door. Take this all the way around the back, and in here as well. And then what we might do here is that this is kind of an experiment, but you can take bits of normal sandstone, some sand to make the walls look a bit dirty or a bit more broken. It does look good if you don't do this, but it can add a bit more detail. I'm just trying to test something out here. And then we're just going to take some more furnaces, some leaves, and then we're going to take diorite walls and we're going to place them on top of the red nether walls. And then some orange glazed terracotta around the doorway. So you can see we're starting to now get our stairs, our front door, and then our front porch, which has all the pillars in it. And then the last thing we need to do for this quick bit here, just need to place some more of these trapdoors. And this can be done with jungle trapdoors as well, really any trapdoor, it looks quite good. And there we go, and I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to place some banners as well. So these look like nice cloths hanging on the wall. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just place some doors in. So we've got to place our door in here, place some extra stuff, so we're going to place some bookshelves in here as well. And then we're just going to add another extra wall of trapdoors here as well. And there we have it, we're ready to move on to our next layer. For this next step, we're going to take our bone blocks again, and we're going to extend these corners upwards. Like so, so we're going to go all of these corners. And the last one. And then we're going to take smooth sandstone again. And we're just going to go right on top, but we're going to leave some gaps for some small windows. Now you could leave some more window spaces. I'm just leaving a few on the front and the sides, but you could leave some more on the back as well. So this is being built in an area where there might be not a good view from the back. So in your world, you could put some more on the back if you want as well. Then we're going to take some smooth sandstone slabs. I'm going to have these small slot windows. And those are going to fill out. But we could just change the walls as well. I mean, I'm kind of testing and playing around with these. And then just take some water buttons as well. So we're going to take those, the blue ones, and we're going to put them on top of the bone blocks. But we're going to miss the ones on the front. And we're going to go all the way around the sides and the back. But we're going to miss the ones on the front, right by the front porch. Now for this very front bit, we're going to take some upside down stairs. And we're going to basically do this. 4 upside down stairs, and it's going to make the same size slot, but it's going to inset them a bit from the edge. Then we're going to take some more diorite walls, and we're going to extend our pillars upwards. And then we're going to have to put these slabs on top as well. So they're going to run as kind of like supports. And then we're going to take more trapdoors again, as well as our stairs, just to finish up the staircase on this level. Now we're just going to be extending the trapdoors on this bit. On the other bit, where there's the small bedroom, you don't need to, because we've got that support that runs across in these smooth quartz slabs. Just going to extend our leaves upwards, our bush. And then on the front bit, I'm just deciding that we're going to put some more smooth sandstone. I mean, it really depends if you like it or not. Now for our next step, we're going to build our floor or ceiling, and we're going to take some smooth quartz blocks, and we're going to place them right on top of our bone blocks in the corners. So we're following our grid. Then we're going to take some upside down smooth quartz stairs, and we're going to run these in all of these gaps, so it's going to add a little bit of depth. And all the way along the back as well. So this one's a bit simpler, it's more pattern based, this build, than some of the others. And we're just filling out some of our last ones into the courtyard and above the front door. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some smooth quartz slabs and we're going to run it all the way along to all of those columns, and then chisel quartz blocks. So they're going to be the floor, and they're going to run all the way along the top, but we're going to leave a small gap for the stairs, of course, so you can get up your stairs. So we're going to run it there, we're going to leave a gap, place a stair. It's going to go all the way along, leave a gap, and then we're going to fill in the rest. Now what we're going to do is we're going to basically build like a sort of like a pergola with some leaves in it. So we're going to place some leaves, and you could do this really randomly. You don't have to follow what I'm doing here, you could do it really randomly. And then you just basically want to fill in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some birch fence gates. You could do it really with any fence gates, it looks good with anyone. And then you're going to fill it in. So these are like the struts that are running across, and then you've got the leaves growing in between them. It looks quite cool like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come along here and we're going to place upside down stairs, and you can see that you can still fit underneath. And then we're just going to take some more leaves on the front. So this is really just starting to decorate it a little bit. You can really add some more leaves or different leaves, really what you want. Then for this next bit, we're going to take, again, so we're going to go layer by layer. We're going to take some orange terracotta, and we're going to inset these blocks as so. We're going to run these all the way along straight, so the top floor is much smaller than the bottom floor. All the way along here as well, along the side. We're going to have a small gap here, and then we're going to have to cut in a gap here for the door into this balcony. Then we're going to put our railings, so we're going to do bamboo trapdoors again. And then we're just going to try and figure out a place to place some seats. I'm going to start furnishing the upstairs, so while we don't have the roof on it, start placing some pots, start sorting out these balconies. So I'm using sandstone walls here, so this is quite a cool way to finish off that area. And the same for the smaller one. Then we're going to take some pots. We're just going to place some pots around next to beds, next to some of the chairs, on balconies, whatnot. And then we're going to basically add some extra furniture in. So we're going to start by just fixing this. We're going to just change the railing slightly to make more room. So you can place a pot in that corner and not have any dead space. Then place some beds in here. So we're going to have 3 beds. Add some bookshelves like so. Leave a gap there because we're going to extend the wall across. You could put a lectern here. You could put enchanting table, really what you want. And then we're just going to place some carpets as well. And this makes like a really nice cozy master bedroom in this upstairs area. Going to take some carpet for outside. So we're going to have some orange outside, some red indoors again. And really a good thing what you can do with a lot of these ancient builds is just mix colours of carpets, particularly in like wealthier houses. So like this being maybe a slightly wealthier house, you know, these carpets would have been a status of wealth back in the day. Lots of colours. And then we're going to take some smooth quartz blocks, so we're going to run these all the way along the top, but we're going to leave some gaps for windows. So because it's ancient Egypt, you don't want to have too many windows because you're going to let all the heat in your house. So a lot of these didn't have too many windows, and any windows would have been quite small, or they would have had shutters on them. But also, as you can see, you've got a lighter colour palette to try and reflect light in the desert. So we're going to just place some slabs and then some mangrove trapdoors in these ones. And then we're going to use mangrove doors again. You could use birch doors. Also, jungle doors work quite well, but I think the mangrove doors work the best because they look, you know, pretty fancy and they're like a bright red colour. So it's quite like, it's quite colourful. So it works quite well for a lot of the ancient builds. Then we're going to put some birch fences, and we're going to run these along the top of this wall. Then for the next step, I'm going to just take some smooth quartz blocks and we're just going to finish up all the way along the top here. So I'm going to take smooth quartz blocks and run it all the way along the perimeter. Like so. All the way along the top here as well. So we're not going to do any upside down stairs for this. We're just going to extend these birch fences upwards for our shade. And then what we're going to do here is just going to use some fence gates as well. So we're going to build our shade with some fence gates. And if you do it like this, it looks quite nice. It looks a bit more, you know, realistic. If you could do it with all fences, but then you've got the fence that sticks down and it looks a bit dodgy. But yeah. And then we're just going to run some birch slabs along the top here. So these are going to be our supports for the roof. And then again, you can do your jungle trapdoors on this bit. So it's going to look slightly different. So this is slightly higher up. And we're going to use trapdoors. Now using trapdoors in this bit, it gives you quite a nice area in the roof, which you don't see in the preview, but I've kind of changed it for the sake of this video because you get a nice line along the top, which we'll see. Then we're going to take some warp signs, and you can control mouse wheel click to get them to just place. So you're just going to run these all the way along the top, around the edge in a blue stripe. Going to miss that bit because we're going to have leaves in there. Run this all the way along the top. Now in this corner you could really place it how you want. It really is just a matter of preference. You could have it so it has 2 there and then you miss one, but I'm just going to have it like that so it looks nicer from the front. Now for our shade, we're going to put some leaves in here. And you can do this again really randomly. You can have all leaves. I think it looks quite nice if you do a mix of both leaves and then birch fence gates. And then there's your shade. It looks quite nice. Now what we're going to do is you could really just play around with your windows. Like in this one, I don't have that many windows. You could add loads of windows if you want. If you've got like a nice sea view, or if you just want bigger windows, you could add bigger windows. Now for our last step, we're going to just place a roof on. So the idea for this roof is we kind of want it to be like a sandstone roof, but it's a sandstone roof that's made of like adobe on top of reeds. And birch planks look quite like dried out, like papyrus reeds or something that goes like quite white or grey. So what we're trying to do is we're kind of trying to make it look like a roof that's been put together with adobe or mud bricks or the sandstone, but then is falling apart in some areas from the heat. So it kind of looks broken, so that the birch planks are the reeds that are running across, and then you've got this. So it's really trial and error. You can really do it how you want. I'm just trying to do it here so it looks somewhat nice. I kind of crack it in the end, but here I am. I'm just trying to make it look somewhat decent. But it's a nice effect. I mean, you could really just do it all sandstone if you don't want to do this step. But I think it looks quite nice and looks a bit more realistic in this sense. And there we have it. I think that looks quite decent. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some upside down dark prismarine stairs. And we're just going to run these all the way along the outside here, but we want them upside down. So this is kind of like your upper level to your roof, and it adds a bit more colour and a bit more texture. It makes it look a bit more premium. But you could use like walk stairs as well. And then we're going to take slabs, not full blocks, and we're going to fill it in like this. So if we just take some slabs, some birch slabs, then just smooth sandstone as well. And then you have it. You've got like a nice roof texture pattern. And I'm just going to show you inside. So we've got this nice effect in this bedroom, where you can see you've got this nice line along the top. So you've got this detail where it could be painted with different paintings or whatever, or tiles, and it looks quite nice. Now for the very, very last bit, we're just going to add some more furnishing elements. So we're just going to go through and we're going to add some plants, some lanterns, some candles. I mean, you can really pick whatever plants you want. So just going to place some candles here. But it also, like, it looks quite nice if you mix up torches and candles and some of the lanterns. Because now in like more modern Minecraft, we've got, you know, way more blocks for lights that is quite nice. So we don't have to just use only torches. Just putting some banners about. And then in the entrance to the bedroom, we're going to put 2 banners that hang down as like a cloth that is a privacy screen. I'm going to do the same downstairs as well. Just more lanterns. Put some torches here. Then in this bit we're going to just put some more of these banners. So you got like a nice privacy screen, some lanterns, some torches, a lantern up here somewhere. And then you can just go along and you can place whatever you want on your tables. You can, I mean, you can really furnish this how you want. I'm just going to put some torch flowers, going to look quite cool. Some more carpets. And then you've got your kitchen area. And then out on the balconies, you know, you can add some more stuff. So in this one, it's a bit smaller, and you've got your view outwards. Whereas the other one's slightly bigger. So you could add like different seats. I mean, you could extend your leaves up. You could add some more pots here. Even some more candles. But you've got a nice view out, and you've got a nice shaded area as well. So yeah, that's the build. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a bit of an easier one today. And it's probably an easier one to replicate, but it's probably quite useful as well in your ancient Egyptian worlds, or really any desert worlds, survival worlds. You could really go crazy and make it quite big as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. I want to say a big thank you to all of the new people who've been tuning into these videos. Make sure to like, subscribe, And yeah, see you next time.